How's it going?
Hey y'all, what's up?
It's Terran and Morgan, of course.
Hi.
We came together today because we wanted to make some fire cider. I love watching Morgan in the kitchen, inside Mo's kitchen. So I was like, you know, we got to come out to nature and let's do some fire cider. I'm into herbs, so a lot of people have been asking about fire cider, wanting to see a fire cider video. People have been calling me, asking me, do I have more fire cider? And I'm like, no, so I need to make a video so people know how to make it. And then it's relevant to still make the batch now, even though the weather is warming up. As you can see, we both have on tank tops today. It's warm.
It's warm. It's 70 degrees.
Oh, 70
Almost
degrees?
80. It's like 79.
I was about to say, I thought it was 80 degrees. I was like, I feel every bit of it. And we don't have no shoes. Like,
no shoes. We're grounded. We're grounded. One with earth. One with earth.
We are natureful. So we out here pretty much, you know, just doing some natural things with herbs. And even though the weather's warming up, it's still relevant to make fire cider because you can store it for up to a year. We use preservatives like apple cider vinegar and honey as well. So both of those are preservatives. And then the longer that this concoction is going to stew, the stinkier it gets and the more potent it gets. That's the honey we're using. And we're getting fancy today. We're using raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized, super enriched honey with bee pollen, bee propolis, and royal jelly. So all the goodies are still in this. And then where I pretty much got this, the idea of fire cider, I attended a herbal synergy conference a couple years ago, and there I met Rosemary Gladstar. And if people know about Rosemary Gladstar, she's like one of the top herbalists. She's come out with a traditional medicinals tea company. She has like one of the oldest herbalist schools in California. But she was telling me about fire cider and how a lot of people make it. There's different variations of it, and that a lot of people take it during the winter to help fight off the cold, the flu, any kind of nasty viruses. So you want to take about a shot of it, but you'll see once we get to the end like what it's looking like. And I learned to make it though because I got a book called the Apple Cider Vinegar Cure. I also got a book called the Coconut Oil Cure. I don't know, any kind of book. I love books. So.
Any kind of book.
Any kind of books.
Any kind of book.
Me and Morgan were just talking about that before. Like, we love books.
Yeah, that's the best way, especially like I was telling them, you know, you don't have to always pay for your education. Sometimes you just have to read and like communicate with like your elders, people who walk before you. You know, there's more than one way to like get information, and books. These are some good books just by what I've read. So.
It's helped me because even when I went to a herbal fair the other day, right? And
herbal
there was
fair.
Yeah, it was dope. It's a free herbal fair. I was like, I gotta go. And
Where
there was a over on Ponce. So
okay.
Yeah, not too far from y'all either. So it's like a little middle point. But there was a guy, right? So he was doing acupuncture, and he was asking me my ailments, and I was just telling him. And he was like, "Who's your herbalist?" And I was like, "Me." And he was looking at me so crazy. I was like, I'm my own herbalist. He was like, I mean, you need to go to like somebody that's certified and stuff like that. But really a certification is like you just talking to somebody and somebody showing you how to make medicine. Like me reading a book and learning from my own experience. Because even some of the things that he was telling me, like, oh, you shouldn't use this herb. I already knew that because like it was something that I read. I don't know everything about herbs, but I read a lot, so I know what I know, and I think that I could consider myself an herbalist, and I'm pretty sure you can too. Yeah. So as long as you love herbs. So we're going to get started. We're going to show you some of the things that we have here today that we're going to be putting in our fire cider so you can see how funky it's really going to be. So
funky.
The onion about to go. We got an onion here. We got to cut up the onion.
Okay.
Horseradish. That's how you know it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, horseradish is potent.
Yes. I had to cut this up last time because it was just too strong. I was like, I'm tired of smelling this. Horseradish. We got jalapeno. We got ginger. We got some turmeric right here. We got garlic, orange, lemon, the honey, apple cider vinegar. We're going to add some peppercorn so you know it's going to get spicy. And you can also add some different herbs to your fire cider like rosemary and thyme, which I typically do, but I left it at home, so we're going to work with what we got today. All right, so you know Morgan is the kitchen lady, so I'm gonna have her cutting up everything, and I'm gonna peel up some stuff.
Okay, what do you want me to start with?
Okay, you could chop up the jalapeno, and you know how to do all that. I don't know if the seeds, you could take the seeds out.
Yeah, the seeds will probably make it a little bit too spicy.
Probably will.
And I think Terran wiped down the table too with some apple cider vinegar.
Because it's it's antibacterial, so it's honey. Honey and apple cider vinegar just work great together. They're really awesome together.
Alright,
so I'm gonna peel these.
Let's scoop this out.
Yeah, Quentin's like, I got you. What is that the jalapeno? I'm like, what am I smelling? Okay, that's the ginger. So it's gonna be all the smells.
Yeah, y'all don't want these seeds.
And so I was reading some more about apple cider vinegar. And that's why I love books, because I could read a book from front to back, but I still got to go back through the book. And I'll read something and I'll be like, this is new. Like, I don't even remember reading this.
That's exactly, I feel that way all the time, because like even with me now, like even though, you know, I can make recipes and stuff like that off the top of my head, it's always like I'm always going back looking for like resources. Like the other day I made some muffins and I was like, you know what's the actual like base of a muffin?
Right.
You know? So yeah, it's always good to go back. Plus you always see something new every single time.
You sure do. That's why, and then I gotta read it out loud to Quinn. I'm like, it's like you in church or something. You like,
You read
that good word, yes. I was like, Quinn, I know I read this about the apple cider vinegar, but apple cider vinegar, you know, they were saying definitely you want to look for, as you'll see on this label, you want to look for raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized, made from 100% organic apples with the mother included. Like, all of these things are very key to look for in apple cider vinegar, because I don't know if you guys have, if you go into a grocery store, of course there's always these different kinds of, like how I make soap. You have handmade soap, and then you have like commercial soaps, or you have like vegan soaps, and then you got the regular commercial soaps. So like White House is a really popular brand, which we use for like white vinegar. A lot of people use them for white vinegar. And they do apple cider vinegar, but their apple cider vinegar does not have a cloudy look to it. It's like a clear look, and that's because it's filtered.
It's filtered. So they're taking out all the
nutrients. Yes. Like the mother that's included in it is actually like a bacteria that's like really, really healthy for you. That helps with like just controlling like bacteria within your body, just creating healthy bacteria. And then apple cider vinegar just has like a ton of benefits for you, so you want to make sure that you get that. And that's why with the honey I made sure they like unfiltered and all that good stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, because I use apple cider vinegar like on my face. That's my toner.
This book right here tells you like how to use it in herbs, skincare, and food. I made a smoothie with apple cider vinegar one time.
You made an apple cider vinegar.
It was interesting.
You know what? When I did a detox program for 10 days, we actually did a soup that had apple cider vinegar in it. Yeah, I mean, it had us in the bathroom, but that was the intention of it. Was is this our trash bag?
Yes, right here.
Let me scoop these on up in there. But yeah, that was the intention of it, was to really just, because apple cider vinegar can really help you clean the lining of your stomach, and then, like you were saying, replace those healthy bacterias.
And then if you want, after that, we can cut the onion.
Okay.
You gotta show us the professional onion cutting skills where you gotta.
How
y'all do it with
you
hold your hand?
Yeah,
like
you hold the hand, and then you don't cut. Yeah, so when you cut in the onion, you don't want to cut this off. This is the bulb. This is what's gonna hold it together. So you're gonna cut this side off right here. Let me show y'all.
Oh, let me learn right quick.
Yeah, you don't want to cut. This is what's gonna hold it all together.
See, that's why I'm learning something new. Wait a minute.
You gotta peel it off because you don't want that part. And then let's throw this in here. Yeah, you don't want that part.
See, that's why I had to get in the kitchen with Morgan, because I'm like, I be watching all of Morgan's videos, and I be like, girl, I'm gonna try to make this. I'm gonna try to make all this
Terrence
stuff.
told me, Terrence, like, I hope you know they watch every last one of your videos. But
we watch every last one of his videos.
I know, but see, that's why we love y'all, because y'all, I mean, like, it's so important for people to, like, truly support one another. And, like, y'all are an amazing couple who I can truly say is so open and warm and just supportive, like very supportive. And that's so important as an entrepreneur, you know, and as our people.
Well, you know how they say real recognize real, because that's why I was like, even when y'all came and, you know, filmed the workshop and the way that y'all were working together, I was like, it's always so good to just see good chemistry between like couples, to be able to handle some business, like really taking care of business, and y'all can work together and take care of business. That's very vital.
So like when I'm cutting the onion, I'm not cutting all the way down to the bulb.
I was missing this now. So
I'm just cutting it. Yeah, I'm just slicing it. I'm making sure I'm going all the way through. And and then when you cut it, when you want to dice it, it's
that helps with your hands too. Because the onion is real slippery.
It's gonna I'm trying to grip it with my fingers. Yeah, and then you're just gonna take it, and then it's gonna already be diced.
Look at that there.
It's okay, babe.
You the professional dicer for sure.
Yeah, I love my food chopper though. It
Saves lives?
It saves all types of lives. It saves all types of lives. I'm trying to stay on a little cutting board, even though it's a stainless steel table, which is.
I know. It's like
we got room. We can do it. Let me take that in there.
It's so crazy, you know, when you get out your element, out of the kitchen element, you got to make sure that you don't forget anything.
Y'all should see me when I be in there packing. We got a little wagon, and when we go out to the studio, I'll be putting all stuff in the wagon. I see you, Aiden.
You say you be putting all the stuff. That's how we do when we do farmers markets.
I know we was laughing at y'all. We was like, that's us right there.
Everything in the wagon.
But at least y'all got like an actual wagon. We got a kids, like a little red wagon for the kids.
If we had kids or something and we needed one of them wagons, we would get one of them too.
I'm like,
because the wagon we got was expensive.
Really?
It was like $60. It wasn't that expensive.
See, I don't know how my dad, that was a Christmas present for the kids and he never used it. So he was just like, here. And I was like, Aiden probably not going to want to really ride in this, even though we pull him around the house in it. But
this is compost right here. That good compost.
Now, I saw that y'all compost. Now, how is it like with rats and things? Like, do y'all have issues?
What's outside? So, no, I don't have any, not that I know of. So, yeah, we keep our, we actually, Quentin did landscaping right before he came on full-time with Urbanita, and he still does like a little bit of landscaping. And one of his clients, in exchange for like some work, and we thought at first it was exchange for work, but she was like, oh, y'all still like owe me for the compost, so we ended up giving her some soap and stuff for the but you know, we try to barter any way possible, so that's fine. So we ended up giving her some soap, but she gave us this like great awesome compost bin that like turns and it has a top to it, because you know we like to like improvise and just we would just use like a regular bin or something, but the fact that she gave us that, like, it has a top on it because it's all kinds of bugs and living organisms and species up in here.
Be up in there. Yeah, that's something like, what do y'all have issues? But if you have,
is it hard, do you feel, for you? Like, or is it like extra work?
It's definitely extra work, but I'm so used to it because when, like, in school, in culinary school, like, your chefs, they make you do everything by hand, which I understand because they want you to know how to do it.
Yeah.
But like now, I'm just now getting used to being like, you know what, I don't gotta do that no more.
You
like,
talking about your food? That's what you talking about, your food chopping?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can use little utensils to make life easier. Like, even like a dishwasher, I'm not used to having a dishwasher, and Terrence is like, man, you're sitting here washing every dish by hand.
Yo, I'm growing up, you know, your parents didn't never let you use the dishwasher, but that dishwasher saves lives too. We gotta start saving lives, okay? We gotta make life easier.
I'm on that bandwagon because literally he be laughing at me because I'm like, I just don't know. I'm not used to
Well, see, you in your kitchen a lot too, and me, I do beauty products and stuff in the kitchen. So it's like, you know, I'm making soap, using the kitchen to make soap, and then I gotta turn around and cook, and it's like, then I gotta turn around and clean all this stuff. Like, I don't feel like doing all that, so the dishwasher definitely helps.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm finna get on it. I gotta get on it because it's warm now. And
you need all the help.
So I just chopped up some turmeric. Terran is chopping up the the ginger. So we got our onions, our jalapenos, our ginger, our turmeric.
And I was telling Morgan, like, technically there are measurements that, like, they say use about, this one says half a cup. I think they all say half a cup. Use about half a cup of everything. But I feel like I just grabbed like a good amount. Like, I grabbed like a big horseradish root. I grabbed like a good amount of turmeric, this, and one whole onion, one whole jalapeno, just a good amount of ginger, a couple of buds. And I feel like everything is going to be super potent anyways. And it's always good to have a recipe. But I think that, like you said, you can always, you can change the recipe accordingly. So if you want to do like burdock root, or you want to do like dandelion root in here, roots are just definitely important. You want to definitely add some roots. So as you can see, like, roots are the majority of like what's in here as far as like the ginger, turmeric. This is really just like roots. And what we're gonna put all the like lighter stuff. We're gonna put all the lighter stuff at the bottom, and we're gonna put the roots at the top.
Is there a reason for that?
The reason, no, really no reason. It's just to kind of weigh everything down because everything can kind of float to the top. So it's just like just to kind of keep it packed down and keep it down. This horseradish is so strong.
This turmeric smells.
Do it.
Mm-hmm. It smells so good. I love turmeric.
Oh, let's talk about some benefits of what everything does.
Okay, so I know turmeric is really good for like anti-inflammatory. It's really good in that it has what are those things? Curcumin in it, which is like it's amazing for like joints and bones because I know like I deal with arthritis sometimes, especially in the cold. When it gets cold outside, like my bones will hurt, and I will do like turmeric tea.
Oh yeah, turmeric tea. They got turmeric tablets. They actually have turmeric essential oil. I did not know that.
What?
Because I got an essential oil book, and they were talking about turmeric, and of course, the main thing is that it helps with joints and all. And I was like, turmeric essential oil, though.
I never knew that. Wow. I know, like, I've got it in oil form, like the supplement in oil form, but I didn't know they had an essential oil.
I would imagine that it's probably expensive, because turmeric by the pound is, like, kind of expensive, so I would imagine. Now, ginger, of course, whenever you're dealing with, like, because the Fire Cider is specifically good for like colds and flus. Ginger is definitely really good to just help with the immune system, helps with circulation, just add that extra heat to your body. So that's why we're adding stuff like jalapenos, like all of these spicy things that like get the blood flowing and get that cold out of there. Like whenever somebody tells me that they have the flu, first thing I tell them is sweat it out. Like you definitely want to sweat out the flu. And that includes like using spicy things, just adding things that are just going to keep you sweating. And a lot of these things here do that. And we got garlic. Garlic has, see, we gonna use our fancy words. Garlic has allotonin in it. Garlic has allotonin in it, which is really good for the immune system as well. So garlic, horseradish, ginger, onions. I don't know if you guys have been seeing on Facebook where they have those videos where people put like onions in the bottom of their socks. They put garlic on their chest because it pulls, it's pulling the toxins
right out.
And so taking a shot of this daily is just gonna help to build that immune system. So even if you actually don't even have a cold, if you can muster up the strength to drink this and take a shot of it, but I mean it's just a shot. I don't know. I'm kind of partial to things that taste weird, especially if I know that they're healthy for you. I actually kind of like things that just don't taste that good when it comes to healthy things. Yeah. We're gonna put all the stuff in there. As I said earlier, we're gonna put the light stuff at the bottom. So we're gonna do like the jalapenos, and this is really let's just throw stuff in there. Like we're just really just gonna throw some stuff in there. I don't even care about layering it. I just want to put it in there because what's important is that you're gonna have to shake it daily. So I mean, everything is just gonna be in there. And this is my kind of recipe, like where you can just cut up a bunch of stuff and just put it into something, and that nature just takes its place. It just needs to soak and do what it does. Let me put some of this. So the oranges and the lemons and the honey add like the sweetness, so we're not dealing with a whole bunch of potent, funky stuff.
So now we're gonna add the roots.
And we do this like. You know how grandma, I don't know if y'all ever seen that little, I always talk about Facebook posts.
You do. I need to be on Facebook more.
Look, because it's always a relative Facebook post that's like, you can relate to it.
The crazy uncle.
Yes. So they was like, when you don't use like measurements, it's like when the ancestors whisper in your ear and be like, stop, child. Like they tell you when to stop.
But you know what? I saw that one.
You saw that one?
That one made it.
On Instagram,
that one made it to Instagram. It did. And that's exactly how it is too. Because I'd be like, I'm gonna put some more. Put a little bit more.
I'm not gonna add so much. And yeah, so they said like, and I didn't bring my teaspoon, right? So it was like, put a teaspoon of peppercorns. I was like, I'm gonna take a little pinch.
Maybe like 2 pinches.
2 pinches, you can never go wrong. A little extra love.
Not gonna hurt.
And you know what? I forgot we gotta add some honey. So it usually says like 1/4 cup of honey.
I've
so I'm
never
just
seen
gonna
honey
add.
like that before.
Me either. This is it has all the goods still intact. This look like it came straight out the cone.
It does.
I'm gonna just put a good amount of that in there because I do like the sweetness. And the crazy thing is that I have apple cider. I have a Fire Cider at the house. So this is just gonna be just another batch that we have. And there's really no reason to use it right now, but maybe like when the season changes to like spring or something, we might need to use a little bit. But there's really no need to use it. this time I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use measurements for this either because we just gotta pour it in there.
Yeah, this has got. Wait, this has 4 cups in it.
Yeah,
the 32.
Me and Quinn were trying to do math the other day.
Yeah, like, 8 ounces in a cup.
That's what we were saying. We was like, isn't there 8 ounces in a cup?
It's 8 ounces in a cup.
So yeah, and somebody can tell you measurements all day, but it's just like more so what you know. So just make sure
push it down in there.
And the honey, the reason why I'm just leaving the honey in there as chunks is because the acetic acid in here is going to break down that honey over time. It's also going to break down a lot of these, a lot of the herbs in here as well. So this stuff will change over time.
So if you said it had like a taste, like what would the taste be?
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice?
Yes.
That's a good description though.
Pickle juice is all I can think about. And I mean, some people love pickles.
I love pickles.
I love pickles. And you know what? I don't know. I think I could like pickle juice. So, but this is definitely like pickle juice. So yeah. But I do want to leave. You just still want to leave like enough space because it's important to shake it daily, so that you agitate it. And like Rosemary Glasstar said, I loved Rosemary Glasstar because she's just like when you just talk to herbalists and they're so like, natural about everything. She said, put your good vibes, like put good intentions in it. So daily when you're shaking it. So even when we first get it, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit more. I might add a little bit more
vinegar.
Yeah, and you can let it do its thing initially too. Like I could let it sit for a day, and if it goes down a little bit more, add a little bit more apple cider vinegar. But I guess this should be fine right here. But yeah, it's gonna be a matter of shaking it daily, putting good intentions into it, and then once we're gonna let this sit. You want to let it sit at least 4 weeks, but the longer that it sits, the better that it does. And so I'm gonna probably more than likely let this sit for until we need it until the fall or winter, which is a really good thing. And then I was also double checking in my book, which was really important to read because I just had my fire cider like this. The thing is that vinegar actually eats away at metal. So they said to put, and I don't have it, but I'm going to put it when I get home, put a parchment paper over this and then cover it like this so that it's not eating away at the metal, which mine kind of did a little bit. And then I was wondering why, and it's because it reacts to it. But yeah, just a daily shake, and it's gonna be good.
Like for fermenting and things like that, there's like a lid that you could take and put on this, and it has like little holes at the top where oxygen peeks through.
Are they the white tops, like the white?
Most of them are like stainless steel, but I know like it's for that same reason too. So it lets the acidity from the vinegar like escape. It's almost like evaporation.
Right. I would think that they would have something because especially with canning, like you definitely need vinegar. And so once this is ready, this all gets strained, and really we're just getting the liquid. So the great thing about like a tincture or infusion or an extraction is that it extracts all the goodness, all the benefits, all the great properties out of that. And then this apple cider vinegar is just going to be way more potent with all of the goodies from that were left in here. So we're not going to be chewing on none of this stuff. We'll just be drinking it.
It's so colorful.
It is. And that is it. That is
Fire Cider, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us. I'm so happy that I got to be with Morgan making Fire Cider. I always watch her videos. I'm like, we're so alike. Like a lot of the things that we like to do. So it was really, really good that we were able to come together and do this.
You always got to come together. Fellowship, y'all. It's all about fellowship.
That's unity. All right. Well, peace.
Peace out.
With our yellow fingers.
Yes, Tumeric fingers. That was fun.
We did it.
We did it.
I didn't even need my measuring
Dun,
cup.
dun, dun, dun.
It's complete.